So I have a cup of tea and a little bit of time. I am going to unbox something new today. This is the Blackbird Oracle. It came in yesterday and I just have a minute to do it. So let's open this baby up. It has been part of my hunt for the perfect fall capsule. And this originally was not on my radar, but late at night, I was online, which is always a problem. And I came across this and I just thought, why not? Let's take a chance on it. I don't have anything like it and I'm excited to try it. So a little bit about this deck's concept comes from Deborah Harkness. She has a series called the All Souls series. A character in the book finds an old oracle deck belonging to her family. So what I thought was so interesting was this isn't just an oracle deck. Inspired by her books, this deck actually exists within the world of her books. So if I discover that I indeed love this, we may have to dive into those books as well. And last little tidbit is Deborah is also a professor of history at USC, which I think for anything that you want your author or your creator to be a reputable source. And while I don't know much about Deborah, the fact that she is a professor and a historian means she must know something. Okay, let's get started. This box is beautiful. It is a nice, big, chunky box. Nice and solid, matte finish, and look how the whole thing lifts. The illustrator is Hester Aspland. A lot of her work centers on folklore and nature, so I'm really curious to see how this translates to the deck. And she works primarily in pen and ink, so I'm hoping that this deck will bring something new to my collection. Let's get into it. This is the guidebook, and it feels like a nice chunky guidebook. The swords and the sun. I mean, this is beautiful already. I absolutely love the artwork. Okay, and look, there's the blackbirds. Okay, this deck is broken up into 8 categories. So you can see them here. They are the elements, the birds, the covens, the tools, principles, alchemical process cards, the moon phases, and the magics cards. This is going to be amazing for the upcoming season. You can see this gives you a brief history of the Blackbird Oracle. It talks about her characters, the Proctor family. Why birds? Birds have been used to foretell the future since ancient times. Okay, then it goes into understanding the deck. 52 cards, 5 element, 8 birds, 4 coven community cards, 9 tools, 5 principle, 8 alchemical process, 4 moon, and 9 magics. So not all of the categories are the same. This guidebook looks like its very own ancient text. It's really beautifully done. The borders here and some of the images. All right, it talks about how to use the cards. Some oracle spreads gives you some suggestions of single card draw, past, present, future, the dark path. So in looking at this, I'm curious to know, is this a deck that's just like a novelty item from a book or a movie, or is this have some substance behind it? Because I really, while I do not mind a deck that can be lighthearted and playful, I do want all of my decks to speak truth. Okay, and then it gets into the cards. And then when you get to the cards, it looks like there is the picture of the card, the title, a few keywords, a little phrase, and then a description. Okay, and then it goes into a description here. I think this is, if you pull these cards in addition to this fire card, it will amplify and clarify. So it just strengthens the meaning of it. And then it goes into different aspects of it. Animal, bird, gem and mineral, plant, herbs. That is really in depth. It looks like each card may have 1 or 2 colors on it. Well, let's just get into the cards. Pull these. Ooh, okay, I like that. Has a nice ribbon in here. I forgot to say this is a Random House Worlds deck. Okay, let's get this open. Oh yes, okay, I love these card backs. Can you see the texture there? That feels like, I love this kind of cardstock. I know a lot of people are particular about it, but I love the texture. It feels like a deck of playing cards, just a little bit bigger size. There's no gilding on the edges. It's just a very simple graphic black and white. Love that. Feels good in my hands. The size feels really nice too. Oh, beautiful. I can see that it is pen and ink. Air, she's blowing on the blackbirds. These are the 4 elements: the earth, the water. There's another bird. Okay, then this is a different category. There's an owl. Ooh, that one's magical. The Raven Queen, the Raven Prince, Queen of Vultures. Look at her face peeking in there. The Owl Queen. There's lots of owls. There's herons, owls, blackbirds, ravens. I guess ravens are blackbirds. Are ravens and crows the same thing? I'm gonna have to look that one up. Wake of Vultures. So I love that it's birds. And it looks like, actually, let's take a look here. It looks like the 4, aha, no. It looks like, I thought it was bird categories, but it's not. There's 4 birds in here. Yes, ravens, vultures, owls, and herons. So those will be the 4 birds that we'll see through this deck. The loom, the key. All the cards seem to be very kind of two-tone, and you can see that the background of this card makes it feel very old. I can't decide if I like that or not. It feels, I don't know. It feels like it could be kitschy, and we'll see. We'll see how it reads. Oh, look at that one. Ooh, I love that card. This little ribbon of blue. Now look, that's a different bird. What is that, a little wren or something? So maybe there are some different birds in here too. Mercury, this must be the alchemical process. Blood. I think this deck is absolutely beautiful. The Death's End, the skeleton, the peacock's tail, the green, oh, look at that, the unicorn. So there are more animals in here. The Red King, alchemical wedding, Phoenix. Look how these moon cards, they have a different background. I mean, these are beautiful cards. Light, shadow, darkness, the dark path, the hanged witch, the star, the wheel. Okay, this deck has a lot of magical, alchemical, and witchy things in it. I like it. And I'm curious to know how it's going to fit into some of my practices with my other decks. Let's see how it shuffles. I'm sure it will do beautifully overhand like this. Please nobody cringe. I do like to shuffle like this. Oh, and it's a dream. That is fabulous. It is smooth. The cards are on the larger side. It's not a tiny deck, but the cardstock makes it shuffle. Can you hear it? I'll be quiet. Woo! It's beautiful. Okay, let's ask for a card and pull a first card and see what it has to say to us. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. That was very quick, but I feel like that's our card. Ooh, Earth. Okay, let's read about it and see. There we go. Earth has to say, patience, stillness, and stability. When you see the earth in a reading, it is an invitation to pause and ground yourself in the present. Okay, so she does offer a reversed card meaning. And then it also tells you what a pairing would mean. Let's see. So if the loom appears, which is also right here, cards that amplify and clarify, it means this. When the Queen of Vultures appears, it means this. Okay, I love that because that means that would help perhaps a newer reader to read in conjunction one card with the next. And also, if you need some assistance or guidance to interpret a reading. So this Oracle deck feels like it definitely can be a standalone deck. A lot of Oracle decks feel to me like it's a one card kind of pull for a message, but I think this one is offering some ideas to use it as a standalone deck, which is interesting. Hey. That is interesting. What I'd like to do now is I'd like to see how it may pair with some of the other decks that I have. Let me see. Okay, let's try it with the Mushroom Oracle first and see how that might work with it. I have not worked with this deck since I unboxed it. Okay, let's see how this pairs together. I have not used this deck since I did the unboxing. Ooh. Ooh, lovely. Okay, this immediately feels really lovely. The colors, the blues, the darks, the blacks. Even the borders on both of them. Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay. Look at that. That's so pretty. The book. Lion's mane. Just don't know how it will read together. But I really like the contrasting imagery. I mean, that is just... Oh, there's my knife one that I like so much. Look at that. That's beautiful together. Okay, I think these two decks might be friends. But what about an Oracle and a Tarot? So let's go see. Let me see if I can pair this. What if we pair it with the Witch's Wisdom Tarot? Let's see. This is one that, if I'm completely honest, have not worked with hardly at all. So your guess is as good as mine. Let's see how this might work together. Okay, 6 of Earth and Blood. Goddess of Air. And the Phoenix. Ace of Fire. Okay, so my initial thought is that there's just a lot going on here. I don't love it together. Okay. Let's see what option 3 is. Okay, well, what if this could be a wild card? What if we pair it with this one? This is the Pagan Otherworlds Tarot. Ooh. Immediately, the background feel like they kind of harmonize. King of Cups. Dark Moon. Oh, is this deck just the most gorgeous? Yes, yes it is. Okay, I think this might work, but I feel like there needs to be a third in the mix here. Ooh. Oh, I have a thought. Actually, let's try this deck. This could be just the thing. This deck was new to me last year. This is the Terra Volatile. Let's shuffle this up again. Oh, okay. So the cardstock is very bendy. So you may need to make sure. I am able to shuffle the whole thing together, which is nice. I really appreciate that. But you may need to make sure that you don't bend it too much. Okay. Okay, let's see how these two work together. Death's Head and the Nine of Cups. I love those paired together. This almost feels like it matches exactly. Ooh, we may have found a winner. The Universe and the Waxing Moon. Okay, look at these together. These are stunning. The slight borders on this one and the antiqued paper borders on the Blackbird Oracle, they really look like they go well together. Peacock's Tail and the Knight of Swords. I think these may play nicely. Woo! Look at this! The Knight of Wands with this orange and the full moon. And look, okay, look at that. Is that a full moon or is that a dark moon? That feels really good. Okay, I think Mercury and the Two of Cups. Look at that. I think these want to be friends. That's my plan. So I will try to work with these together, and I'm excited. I think it's going to be a fun one. So this is the Blackbird Oracle. I think it's going to be a really fun one to get to know over the next couple of weeks. It feels like it has some good messages for the fall, the Halloween season. Lots of good colors. I love the pen and ink. It's going to bring hopefully a really unique perspective. I will definitely want to do an introduction deck spread with it to get to know it and kind of read the energy of it. But I think all in all, it's going to be an interesting addition to my collection, and perhaps even a friend to some of my other decks. So I would recommend it. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a fun deck to get to know. I'm pleasantly surprised.